Hello, my name is Saul Trujillo, and this is my presentation over the Module 11 case study. Now, on this slide, section 1, I found this case study to be very interesting, and here's my summary about the case. Mr. Rhodes, the new principal of Golden Oaks High School, is given the assignment of improving student attendance. The superintendent immediately asks him to work with local organizations and tells him the attendance rate is declining steadily. After finishing one semester, he looks at attendance data and he is surprised by the low attendance rate and finds that the staff may be contributing to the problem. The superintendent had informed him of the existing policy, but it doesn't seem to be followed here. He selected 5 out of the 659 students with more than 10 absences in the first semester to study more. Each student has absences for a variety of reasons. 659 is the large majority of the nearly 1,000 students at Golden Oaks. On slide 3, it's about legal or ethical issues. Each of the 5 students presented in the case study are very different. As far as legal or ethical issues, I found there to be a legal issue with Carl's and Tyrone's situations. Carl's dad told the truancy officer that Carl's attendance is a family matter only, and Tyrone's parents are bringing him for extended vacations that are lasting longer than the 3-day excused absence limit. For ethical issues, the student's learning is being affected by missing school, and Karen's schoolwork quality is declining, and Christina's grades are C's and D's. Another ethical issue that is also breaking the district policy is that teachers are inappropriately excusing absences. The district policy states that students can only miss school for weather, death in the family, illness, or another valid reason approved by the principal, not the teachers. So this seems to be an issue at the school. On slide 4, synthesize in a single sentence. All in all, the problem is the low attendance rate at Golden Oaks High School, which can be linked to parent negligence or faculty members loosening the rules. And I kind of talked about that on the previous slide. Slide 5. Here are some specific facts that we know and don't know about the people, place, and program. Some of the people are Mr. Rhodes, the principal, who selected the 5 students to determine cause of absences. The 5 students have been absent for a variety of reasons. Teachers, parents are allowing absences that should not be allowed. Long-term teaching staff with a low turnover rate. Now, the unknown is we only know background or 5 students out of 659. And then, do all teachers know the protocol on absences? Which I feel like that's a pretty good question. For known place, we know nearly 1,000 students at Golden Oaks, mostly middle income with some lower and some higher income, and there's recently added diversity with Hispanic and Asian families. There's a variety of parent jobs. Most do not have time to support their children during the workday. And there is a lot of extracurricular opportunities and sports are offered at the school. Some unknowns are we do not know the physical condition of the school. We do not know the specific demographics of the school. And then what are some possible correlations between demographics and the absences that are going on there. And then for program, some known are there's likely a public school with lots of opportunities for extracurriculars and sports. It's 9th through 12th grade. The lowest attendance rate in the district. Teachers can penalize grades after 5 unexcused absences in a semester. And the school had a positive relationship with both juvenile court and social services. The unknowns are we do not know specifics about the curriculum. Section 5 is Review and prioritize. School stakeholders are crucial when looking at school improvement, and school leaders must communicate with them and keep them informed. So, addressing the attendance rate issues would affect stakeholders in the community, and there would be a positive impact on improving student learning and educating future members of the community. However, there could be damage to the stakeholders. Teachers who are bending the rules could be punished. Christina is missing school for church events, which could be perceived differently by stakeholders. And Carl's missing school, possibly to help run a family business. Again, this could be perceived differently by stakeholders. And John is the star of the football team who is given special privileges to maybe keep him happy so he will continue playing well. Students, teachers, members of a church, parents, and community members all have a stake in this outcome. And then all relevant stakeholders have likely not been consulted yet. Some of the students' parents have been contacted, and teachers are providing information. Slide 7 talks about section 6 and 7 and identifying or evaluating options. So, a possible option would be take no action, which would lead to absence rates continuing to rise, student achievement declines, and then the pros to it would be parents and students are happy to be in control. Another option would be reporting all students who have passed the unexcused absence limit to juvenile court or social services. And then some cons would it'd create fear surrounding attendance. It would create a lack of trust and tension between the school and families. And then juvenile services may become overwhelmed with numbers. But a pro to it would be school attendance would be taken more seriously, which I feel like it should be. So another option would be to punish teachers who are bending rules for students. So the pros of that would be teachers would follow the rules, and then absence rates would decline. And then some cons to that would be teachers would likely fear the new principal and not feel safe. And then veteran teachers may not care / continue in their ways, and then teachers might leave. And then the last possible option is to inform all stakeholders of the attendance policy and consequences if it is not followed, then enforce it personally. And then some pros would be everyone would be informed and held accountable. Excused absences would be handled by the principals only. And then absence rates would decline and student achievement would improve. And then some cons to it would be parents and communities may be upset about that. And then more students would report truancy. So those are just some possible options and the pros and cons to it. And I've put the cons in red and the pros in green. And then slide 8 is the best option or implementation is to address the situation with all the stakeholders, and to enforce the absentee policy. I could best implement this decision through written communication, through staff meetings, assemblies, and social media communication. Newsletters are a good way to do that, but just being able to communicate would be nice. Or I could host a parent meeting about the attendance rate and give possible solutions to improve it. And then this could be this could include the benefits of good attendance and how our school could support it, and then just making sure I offer data to support whatever I'm trying to communicate with the parents and whoever else would be involved. And then it would also be important that I collaborate with social services and the juvenile court. And then after communicating with all of the stakeholders, we would just have to keep track of attendance data, and we would just have to continue to communicate and inform whoever's involved through this process. And then section 8 and 9, which is on my last slide, is just the best option or implementation. When it comes to the 5 students the principal has chose to focus on, each situation is different. I would probably inform everyone of the policy in the groups, and then I would talk to them all individually. Karen, I would first call uh, Karen's parents and communicate with them, with the school counselor and her teachers, and then we could figure out why she has been missing those days, which is Monday and Friday, and we would hopefully work on a solution, and hopefully the parents would be supportive, and we could figure out whatever is going on in her situation. With Tyrone, I would first discuss the situation with Tyrone's teacher, and then or whoever approved the the absences, and then I would communicate with Tyrone's parents and inform them of the 3-day limit, which is necessary. With Christina, I would first contact the superintendent to find out about church sanctioned events um, being approved on the absence list, and if they are, I would inform her parents of the 3-day limit on excused absences. And then I would have a conversation with the teacher, and the whole absence situation. With Carl, this situation would need to be addressed with the truant officer, and then Carl's parents would need to be informed of the policy and the truancy limits. And then John, I would first address the athletic director on bending the rules for athletes, um, and then uh, and then we'd talk to John and his parents and let them know about the policy and why it's not okay to oh, and kind of talk about the situation um and the policy. And then after communicating with all of the above, I would stay in contact with each child and their parents, and then I would make sure everyone's following the policy, whether they are an athlete or whatever situation there is, and then we would keep providing support um, if they are still needing it. But yeah, this is how I would handle these 5 cases or these 5 students, um, and hopefully it can't get any worse than what it is. So um, thank you for listening to my presentation, and hopefully my case study slides are easy to follow.